Final Fantasy XVI has several missable upgrades and unlocks either by being in a chest at the end of some random main mission or unlocking from a missable side quest. Here are all the major upgrades that you shouldn't miss in Final Fantasy XVI. Let's go! Let me know any I've missed in the comments down below so we can all help each other out. And we're going to start out with a super easy one that unlocks after you've got to the second hideout location, after like the second major time skip. And by the way, all of these occur after this point. There'll be no spoilers and stuff in this video, but just thought I'd mention that. So after you've been to the second hideaway, you can go to Charon's Toll and grab these 3 accessories. The first being the Golden Testament to increase your gold accumulation by 35%, On Fortune and the Heavens to increase XP by 15%, and Wages of Warcraft to increase ability point generation by 20%. All of these are like major upgrades and will help you level up faster, grab those ability points, grab that gold, and all these things which are super valuable just overall, especially as you get further past that point. Around that sort of point where you unlock the second hideaway and as you start progressing the main story, things will start opening up, meaning that you'll come across enemies that might be a little bit higher level than you, or even just like harder because of things from like the hunt board if you go out and do those. So increasing your XP and ability point generation especially is like a huge upgrade, even if you just wear them for a little bit of time, just to increase your overall level and ability points so you can unlock some better abilities. The next one is honestly like the biggest upgrade in the entire game, and that is the Chocobo Mount. So after you've completed the Gathering Store main quest at Martha's Rest, you'll notice an NPC with the plus quest symbol, and you go and talk to them. You'll start the White Winged Wonder quest. Now this quest is super easy to complete. You just sort of like follow the quest marker, go and fight the Chocobo Keepers, and then you will unlock the mount. This mount is honestly like a huge upgrade. Like I can't talk about how much of an upgrade this is because it is super annoying that Clive can't sprint on his own. Like you have to wait for that like sprint, like fast animation to trigger. It just makes getting around the map so much easier, especially after that point when so much more of these open world zones and stuff sort of open up for you. But it's a well worth upgrade to get. But there isn't much really to this quest. You just got to go pick it up, do it, and you'll be good to go. The next one is a major buff to your overall healing potency, and that is increasing your potions potency. So after the Storm main quest in the hideaway in like the backyard part, sort of like off to the side, it's like well up the back, you'll get the Root of the Problem quest from a guy called Nigel here. Now this will require you to travel to Martha's Rest, and from here you should be able to follow the quest marker to like the left sort of area of Sorrow Wise, and there'll be some goblins here that you'll need to defeat, and then collect some Morgan beards, which is just sort of like a flower in this location. There'll be 3 of them to pick up, and you pick those bad boys up and then go back to Nigel and hand this in, and you'll increase your potion potency. There is actually also a second version of this quest that unlocks after the Song of Hope main quest. So make sure you go back and check with your buddy Nigel after you've done that main quest, because increasing your potion potency is really important, especially as you start getting your level up even further, because you'll have more HP, which will then mean that the potions you actually use, whether using your potion or a high potion, they won't actually heal as much of your health. So it's really important that you go and do that because of the overall potency upgrades that you get from that. And if you're wanting to have more actual potions to be able to carry, then you need to do the inventory space quest. Now, after you have completed the Out of the Shadow main quest, there is another side quest that'll pop up called Weird Science in that sort of same location, which will then allow you to increase the overall amount of potions and tonics that you can carry. So when you grab the Weird Science quest, this will send you off to hunt the Bomb King. Now, this guy is like super well hidden. Like it took me ages to find this guy, but you will need to travel to the Dragon's Arrow obelisk in Bricky, whatever that word is, you know what I mean. But anyway, so you travel to this obelisk and sort of like hug the left wall until you can find like this little walkway. You follow that walkway, and then again, there's like a little hidden like pathway in between the trees, and you'll follow that and climb all the way up to actually fight the Bomb King. This fight isn't too bad, but it is a hunt fight. So it's like sort of like a boss fight, right? That has like unique mechanics and stuff, and just be careful of his big AoE attacks. But if you can avoid those big attacks that he does drop onto you, you should be able to beat the Bomb King okay. Like it's not the worst fight ever. Once you've done that, you can head back and hand in the Weird Science quest, and you'll increase your potion and tonic capacity, which is a massive upgrade, so you can carry more, especially as you get into the later stages of the game when potions become super critical for those really tough boss fights. This next one is like a 2 or technically like a 4-parter, I guess, but we're going to like talk about the first 2, and that is because it gives you a massive armor buff as well as an amazing sword called Excalibur, which is a huge damage and stagger buff considering where you're at the game. game and the amount of damage that that weapon actually does. So firstly, this comes from the Blacksmith Blues quest chain. Now there are multiple of these that will unlock throughout different like points in the story. Now Blacksmith Blues 1 comes after the Here Be Monsters main quest. Now this will essentially send you off to fight a griffin, and you'll need to find that griffin, which was a hunt board similar to how we just talked about the Bomb King. You'll need to travel to Lost Wing and then to the Kier Norvid River Gate, and from here just like head up to the top of this location and there'll be the Dos Mare Griffin there for you to fight. After you've beaten the griffin, the rest of the quest will trigger, and then you'll have to just head back to the blacksmith and hand the quest in, and he'll give you the recipe for the Drake Slayer's armor. You'll then need to craft the Drake Slayer's belt and the Drake Slayer's bracelets from the blacksmith himself. So you'll need like these resources that you can only seem to get from the hunt. Now there's the Scarletite and the Electrum for the belt and the gelatinous mass for the bracelets. So for the belt, the Scarletite, you'll at least have one from defeating that griffin, but you'll need a second one as well. So in order to get a second one, and a third actually, which we'll use for the Excalibur a little bit later, you'll need to go fight the big turtle hunt in the Velcroy Desert. So once you go here and beat this turtle, you'll then get 2 of the Scarletite materials, so you can then use one for the bracelets and then use one a little bit later for the Excalibur sword that we're going to talk about shortly. But so once you've done that, you'll need to go grab the Electrum resource from the Severian, which is a hunt board as well, and that is in Sorrowwise, just sort of east of Martha's Rest in this location here, and you just go fight that boss. That one is really easy because you fought heaps of these before just based on the main quest. And to get the gelatinous mass for the bracelets, you need to go defeat the Flan Prince, which is available in the Hawk's Cry Clift area, and once you go here, fight this guy. He's not too bad either. He's a little bit annoying like with the big like hand smash attack that he does, but the attacks here aren't too bad to deal with. Now once you've got all of these, you can go back to the blacksmith and craft both the Drake Slayer's belt and the Drake Slayer's bracelet. These are both massive upgrades to your health and your defense for this point in the game. And the epic weapon that we were talking about, now this unlocks after letting off Steam 3. You'll get Blacksmith Blues, but you don't actually get this quest like noticeably on the map. You actually need to go to the reading table and read the letter from August here in order to unlock this quest. Now this is a minor side note as well, that make sure you're checking the reading table for things like this, like side quests and stuff that unlock from that. So this quest is actually pretty easily marked, right? You just sort of follow the steps here to talk to various people at the hideaway, and then it will send you off to go to a certain location, and you'll need to climb into the inn and talk to someone, and then head off, fight these bandits that they want you to fight, grab this guy's chest, bring it back. The quest is pretty easy to do, right? Like that's not the hardest step. The hardest step is actually getting the materials, same as for the other Drake Slayer's belt and bracelet. So we've already talked about the Scarletite, which you will have gotten because you've completed those 2 bosses. You have 3 of those already. The Bomb Ember you get from the Bomb King hunt, which if you're following this video in order, you will have already done that, so you already have that material. And the last is the Grimalkin hide, which you actually get from the Jaw. So you need to head there, and again, it's like off this beaten path, and you follow the pathway. You'll need to defeat his like little minions first, and then the actual creature will jump down, and you'll be able to beat him, fight him, get the material, take that back to the blacksmith, hand it in for Excalibur, which is a massive damage and stagger weapon for again where you're at this point in the game. So there are more of these Blacksmith Blues that unlock as you get further through the main story, and there's plenty of other quests that you should be doing for these things. A big tip in general really is doing these hunt boards will not only net you a heap of XP, renown, and all that good stuff, but it will also give you these unique materials that you can then use to create these unique weapons that you get from like Blacksmith Blues and stuff. So it's worth doing these just in general, but these are the main ones that I wanted to point out as they can happen pretty early in the main story after that second sort of time skip that will really set you up for the future if you do all of these. So thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Norza, and I hope you have a great day.